What is going on, Pisces? Hope you're ready for your cosmic quest with your girl Cosmo. Let's go ahead and get into what is happening here. Okay, guys, what's happening in your love life for this week. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are unsure your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars placements, because these readings are for Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, you know, whatever placements that resonate with you, you guys check out all those videos yourself. Can't tell you which one to look for, guys. So, that said, oh, and one last precaution, right? If the reading doesn't resonate, that is A-okay. Okay? That is A-okay. My bracelet's falling off. No. Stay on. Alright. Let's see what we got here, fam. Pisces. What does this Pisces love life look for this week? What does Pisces love life look like for this week? What does Pisces love life look like for this week? Okay. Oh. Pisces, wow. The Knight of Swords is coming up underneath the Four of Wands as your underlying energy, okay? The Four of Wands, it does mean that there can be an opportunity to move up in a relationship, to move to more stable ground, right? To get to a place where there's a higher sense of commitment. And that's really good here, considering this is a love reading. Everything else around here definitely got my eyes wide open. Okay. Jeez. So, with the heart of your reading coming up as the Page of Swords, I feel like there's some things that... Not that... I don't think there's... I mean, if anything, there may have been some sort of blunt communication here. Somebody may have said something, but it's premature. It was before somebody kind of really understood the magnitude of what they were saying. Because that's what the Page of Swords usually talks about too. It's somebody that, or it could be in a truth that obviously doesn't really, it's a message from someone that perhaps doesn't understand the impact of their message. Okay? Doesn't understand the impact of what they're kind of, you know, what they're saying. But at the same time, with that Nine of Pentacles in the external energy, I have this feeling the heart of the reading has a lot to do with getting more information, right? Trying, like, waiting to see something come through, you know? So this is about some sort of truth. Like, you're waiting to see something that will definitely get you started. Okay. Page of Swords. That is a card to me that does talk about, you know, getting the information, spying, you know, a lot of looking towards someone else, if that makes sense, or not necessarily towards someone else, but like gathering information, gathering data. And yeah, you gather data by spying, and the Page of Swords is the spy, you know, it does the inside work, you know, so I don't know if there's anybody spying on anyone, but definitely it's just like the desire to gain some sort of truth. Okay. So. Now, with the five of Swords in the past, I kind of get this feeling that there was maybe some sort of conflict here, like some sort of, you know, something regarding. Like, not necessarily truth, but this is definitely someone fighting for what they want, right? Standing their ground in the sense of, you know, not backing down from a fight, you know, wanting to win, getting something at all costs. There may have been either somebody wasn't willing to, you know, negotiate, and someone else had to kind of save the relationship. Maybe there was an ultimatum here, because the Page of Swords and the Five of Swords may have been that somebody gained some sort of information, and that was, you know, that could have been like used to get some sort of way. I want to know what this Five of Swords is all about, though. Why is Five of Swords coming up for Pisces in the past? because of the seven. Yeah, someone's standing their ground. I was just saying that. And you got the Seven of Wands that comes up with this, standing your ground, not buckling. Somebody was definitely protective of whatever it was that they were really fighting hard to to either get, to win, to maintain. There was no budging from this person here. And now there's the Judgment, right? This is something that's resurfaced. I always see this Judgment card as this resurfacing sort of energy, right? Obviously, right? Phoenix rising from the ashes. So there's something that either something that you thought was gone, completely out of, commission, or, cause especially considering that the Five of Swords is such a brutal energy, somebody may have fought very strongly on some sort of perspective. But then that kind of severed the relationship here for a second. But then there's an opportunity to get that back. Or because, of course, right, you've lived through the experience of what could happen or what happens with, somebody standing on their ground as diligently as this person did. And I feel like there's an opportunity here to do something differently that will end up turning into the star, something that can definitely restart and has potential for great happiness, but also, it's a sense of direction. It feels like a sense of direction here. So whatever this argument was, whatever right here, whatever this was that made someone feel really defensive and not willing to negotiate, not willing to compromise with either a certain viewpoint. Maybe this had to do with comfort zone. I kind of get this feeling that somebody was just not interested in having it any other way but their own way. But now, with Judgment coming up, right, this gives them another opportunity. Another opportunity to do something different from, whatever this was. I think because I think this may be you, Pisces. Like, I feel like you stood your ground with something, unwilling to compromise in some area, and that I'll open the door for another opportunity for you. This gave you a situation that pretty much reminded you of one period in your life where you may have done something different. You know what I mean? It may have been that you have, because you stood your ground in this area, a door opened. A familiar door, a door that you probably thought wasn't going to be able to be opened again, and here you are, right? Making the decision, because here you are, like I said, with the Nine of Pentacles and the external energy. This is in your comfort zone. You don't need anyone. You don't really care. Not care to want anybody. I feel like the situations that you've been on your own for a while, you've been definitely taking care of your own stuff, right? You've been just looking out for what your needs were, right? And you've did a great job with making, putting all the work in. So now with Judgment coming up like this, I kind of get this feeling that you have an opportunity to break out of this comfort zone. This here allows you to get out of the single life, or to find a new adventure. Because I kind of get this feeling that this allows you to do something a little bit more exciting, because this has gotten boring, right? This was feeling like this is kind of getting drab, like, okay, I've been here, done that energy. And then now you're like, okay, situation is very similar, but you could do something totally different with this energy. You could do something totally different with this circumstance. So your best path to follow is the Devil. And I kind of feel like what the Devil here is saying is that it's just about changing behaviors and patterns, which explains why the Judgment card is in your present, right? You're doing something. It's always asking you to do something different, right? You can always do the same thing that you did before, right? But with the Devil coming up as a sensitive device, I feel like with the Devil talking about continuous patterns that necessarily don't serve us, there may be something here that definitely calls for a change of pattern, change of behavior, change of thinking, way of thinking, change of communication, a change of point of view. Whatever this is that makes you feel disempowered, this is perhaps where it's talking about. Whatever mindset, whatever action that you've taken before that made you feel like you had to have something, or something had to be in a certain way. This is coming up to show you that there is perhaps other methods, or there's there's other things that can be done. Or this situation, the way that's being handled is from a very a very entrapped sort of feeling, right? This is something that keeps you from being able to be yourself. It's never, the devil never keeps you in this place. It's always, for instance, these two people here, they're just chilling, drinking wine. They're not mad. They're not upset. They're not stressed out. They're cool. That to me tells me that those people are able to leave at any point. They're able to do whatever they want to do. And if that's the case, then the situation for them is pretty much just changing their behavior, changing their direction. Right? Like just going in a different area. So I kind of feel like, it's just recognizing that this isn't the end all be all. You don't have to just be, you don't have to just stay in that area. Stay in this mindset or this energy. The devil is telling you that you have an opportunity to break free, but it starts by recognizing what's binding you. And I feel like that's why judgment's coming up. Is to show you what's keeping you down. If there's anything that's keeping you down at all. Let's get a card for that, right? Let's see, why is the devil coming up as their best path to follow? It's Pisces' best path to follow. Why is the devil coming up for that? Wow, the Six of Cups. The reason why the devil's coming up is because of the Six of Cups. The devil could also talk about a connection between you and another person, right? A tie, a binding, something binding you two together. That feeling of not being able to live without the person. And it has to do with somebody from the past. Six of Cups and the Judgment card can usually indicate something like Phoenix rising from the ashes. Something that, was once gone, revitalizes and comes back to life. So an opportunity may come back to life. A relationship may revitalize and come back to life, which makes sense with the Four of Wands and the underlying energy. There's something that's coming back to life with this. And I feel like things have definitely changed. And it's okay to give it a chance. Because, you won't know how much this person's changed until you've experienced it. But I feel like the devil is that whatever's keeping you back perhaps has to do with the Six of Cups, right? The past relationship. Maybe this is someone else. This is someone new. I feel like this is really an ex coming back, and maybe there's toxic memories or some sort of memory from the past that's keeping you from moving forward or making you feel more apprehensive about moving forward. Or maybe this is about the other person feeling apprehensive about moving forward. Somebody is bound to something in the past, and it's a good memory. The Six of Cups they're really nice memories. They're not the Three of Swords where they're talking about painful memories, right? These are happy memories. These are memories that make you feel good. So the devil is attaching itself to something that makes you feel good from the past. And I feel like it's saying to break yourself free from the mindset of the rose-tinted glasses. Maybe that the situation with the devil is saying that you can have happiness again. This is your opportunity. This Six of Cups is a reminder that you can be happy again because you know that feeling. You know how it feels. And it can be obtained again. And you can break the binding that keeps you from, that makes you feel like you can't successfully be happy again, right? Instead of dealing with this boredom and feeling alone and not feeling like you're understood. I feel like you have the opportunity to do it, but it's going to require getting to know the person probably. And I think that's probably what's going on here, guys, is that, the situation that's coming back up is reminding you that you can be happy again, but it starts by breaking a pattern. Breaking a certain way of thinking. And it has to do with a certain memory that reminds you of a time when you were the most happiest. So when we look at the hopes and fears being the Eight of Wands, I think, there may be a desire for things to pick up speed, things not to be so slow. But then I think the situation, too, is that you want to ease into it. You don't want to rush. You want to take your time. Because when you move into the outcome, you have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles right here is like someone that takes their time looking through the details. This person ain't rushing because this person is trying to make sure that they get every detail they possibly can. Right? It's also temporary work that can benefit you in the long run. something that may be small and not very, not very much now, but can grow into something extremely huge, like the Four of Wands. So the fact that you have two pentacles in here, two pages in here, it says that there's some small beginnings that really need a lot of nurturing and growth. Like getting information takes time to seek it out, as well as the Page of Pentacles takes time for natural work to be done. Natural meaning, things that you can do within the moment. It can't be rushed, and I don't think you want it to rush. I don't think you want it to go very fast, because you want to know who you're dealing with. You want to feel like you're in a situation where there is commitment, because this relationship made you feel so safe, and now you've grown that safety within yourself, and I think you have an opportunity to feel safe with this relationship, but it's going to take time for it to grow. And I feel like the devil is not to hold you back. It's not necessarily saying that this past energy is going to hold you back. Forget it. No, I feel like don't let this. I feel like the situation is, how it's coming up is that the devil with this this Six of Cups energy is really just like, this is your opportunity to be happy. The devil is not. It's not keeping you from being happy. It's reminding you that this can be happy. That this can happen in your life without temporary sedatives, without something, moment, that something that satiates you in the moment. You can have this now, but it's going to require you to break a certain pattern. A pattern of just looking to make sure your end is covered, maybe. Maybe you don't have to be the end all be all. Of course you got to watch your own back, but I kind of feel like taking this step, breaking this certain habit, can really build a strong connection. So let's go ahead and see what you guys have with the Messenger Oracle. Embrace Spirit. I'm going to read this one to you because I rarely get this card. Embrace Spirit. But the biggest thing about Embrace Spirit is that, one of the things I definitely remember from this card is that trusting your intuition, trusting what makes, your inner guidance system is the key. Is the absolute key. But I want to read the message to you since I rarely get that card. Even for clients, it doesn't come out very often. So, you're a spiritual being living in a physical life. Embrace spirit in your journey and reaffirm your connection with the divine. Wow. Fly to the heavens, but remember to look down and see the divine exists in the magical natural world beneath you. Spirit dwells within all, in everything you see and know, and everything that you do not see and which is unknown. Both the creative and the destructive, the beautiful and the ugly, are born of the divine. Wow. So it's pretty much saying to remember that everything is connected. Everything that that you're drawn to, everything that comes up, it's along the spirit's journey, even if it has something to do with the physical world. Wow, round and round. That is legitimately the Judgment card. Something that, but it talks about a situation that comes back up because there wasn't a lesson that was quite retained. Not saying that you didn't retain the message, but I feel like this is an opportunity that's literally come up once again. But this time you have an opportunity to do something different. This is your opportunity to break the cycle. But the only way you do that is by changing your behavior, changing your pattern. Pattern of behavior, pattern of thinking, pattern of believing. This is your opportunity to break the chain. Because you already know how it goes one other way, right? You already know how this goes if you go a certain direction because you've done it before. And God knows how many times you've done it, right? You may have done it 1,000,000 times and now you're like fluent. So obviously the different thing is obviously the thing that you didn't do before. Right? Whether it's trusting, taking a chance, whether this is, having faith. Whether this is compromising and, and trusting that the person that you're with doesn't try to take advantage of you. You have an opportunity to have something great. Or you may have an opportunity to learn something different. Either way, you know what to do differently. So it's up to you whether or not this is something you want to try or you want to kind of stay along the same path. But remember, don't be surprised if there's another opportunity that does come up that is very similar to the one that you're dealing with right now. Because there's a reason why it's looping like this. Something has to change. Something has to break. Some pattern, some sort of cycle has to break. And it starts with how the situation is being handled. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. I love you so very much, and I will see you guys really, really soon. Take care, guys. Bye, guys.